another update today. Good morning. It's like 31st of what month are we in? March. Really nice day. So you can see the yard. You got all these little purple shits popping up. That's henbit. Well, at least I think it's it's between that and dead nettle. It doesn't really matter. It's an edible weed. It's awesome. But it comes up every spring. It flowers very quickly. It goes to seed and then pretty much just doesn't come back until the fall. So I may wait until next week and cut the grass. It's really cut the weeds and put those, all that organic material to use before the Bermuda grass, which are all the little, dry dead patches, come back to life and, become a nuisance like they always are. So just real quick, I got pretty much all my plants out here getting some sun. Things are a little disorganized. I need to repot a lot. So assorted flowers, okra, my basils, lupine, some stuff I need to look up. I forgot what I planted. Gooseberries are doing extremely well. Still haven't quite decided where they're going to live. I actually took a sage cutting, parsley that I've actually pretty much hardened off, just needs to be put in the ground. Trying to see if I can bring back these guys from December. All kinds of shit. And I got a few of my warm weather crops out here. Tomatoes are looking nice. Artichokes looking insane. A few marigolds, columbine. I think I have some snapdragons I need to put in the ground. Lettuce needs to go in the ground. A lot of things going in the ground today. Really cool. I planted this vetch a couple years back. It comes back every year. I just really like that I have like a nice nitrogen fixer in the ground. So I guess we can hit the raised bed first. Kale looking great. Probably going to get rid of the majority of this like I've been talking about. Turn it into kale chips or something. And then make room for my zucchini and a few other things. This monstrosity, I keep finding goddamn neighborhood cat is digging in here, taking shits. And I had actually planted some parsley. We can come over there real quick. Parsley got knocked down. I got another one on a bottomless cup here. This guy survived. He's doing okay. But, really need to protect these guys for the next couple weeks until they really establish their roots. I have my cabbage in here finally. So this guy definitely looks the best. He's my number one performer, so to speak. I got one here, one there, one there. They may actually even be a little too close. But that's okay. I mean, you can eat the leaves. Honestly, this is the first time I've ever grown cabbage, and I'm kind of expecting them to just get riddled with these damn green cabbage worms that come around. So I'm going to see what I can do. I think it's better for a fall crop than a spring crop. But we'll see. We'll see how they do. I'm going to try it in the spring. I'm going to try it in the fall. Still haven't seen my carrots come up, but the soil hasn't gotten disturbed because obviously I kept it covered with the chicken wire. So, lesson learned. So we can come over here. Haven't really done much. Still have my my fennel in the ground. It's still adapting. I mean, we've still had a few, even though not freezing, cold nighttime temperatures. Fennel loves the cold, and that whole black that you're seeing is rotten horse manure. So I mean, that stuff is gonna fucking explode once it starts getting a little bit warmer here. Kind of two schools of thought going on here. So like I said last time, I had turned all of this and I had actually put some organic material down, a lot of leaves, straw, horse manure, compost, and so it is raised up a bit. And even though there is a straw layer on top, that's really just to kind of cover the soil. I've gone ahead and finally transplanted my kales. So they're in here. You can see them. I got my red Russians in the middle, German smooth off to the right here. Got my Tuscans. And then I actually had another cabbage that I didn't know where to put. So I just jammed that in the corner there. Who knows? Maybe it'll take. And then, so each of these are about 10 inches apart. Now, I think that there's a few different you know, measurements that people go off of. I was trying to go off the bio-intensive, French-intensive method. So, you know, when these guys start to get big, their leaves will actually almost be touching. I think the recommended is 12 inches apart, so I shorten that a little bit, and we're going to see how they do. Now, obviously, they'll get bigger if I keep them nice and fed, you know, and watered, blah, blah, blah. Over here, I put my kales a little closer together, and there was 2 reasons for that. 1, I had extra kale, and 2, you know, this soil actually didn't get turned, and it didn't because I had some sorrel, and I had some carrots I left in the ground because I actually want them to go to seed. So, you know, that being said, the soil is a little more compact here. I didn't work in any compost. I'll probably dress the top with some, but I'm not expecting these guys to get as big as these guys over the left here, just because the soil isn't as aerated. There's not as much room for the roots to grow, and I mean, it's really all about root growth. So you can also see here a lot of weeds popping up. So I really need to mulch this shit, and it'll be more clearly marked rows at that point, and you'll know a little bit more of what I'm doing. So, you know, then over here, nothing cray. I mean, goodness, look at this comfrey. Look at this fucking log. It's like its 3rd year, just totally busted apart here. It was a barrier, kind of like this guy. You can see some little radish seeds popping up. I went to a seed exchange a couple weeks back, got some seeds, popped them in, and, you know, this is really just like a quick cover. I plan on putting my flowers here, so, you know, instead of keeping the soil bare, I'd rather have, you know, a little something come out of there, a little bumper crop. Back here, this fucking monstrosity. So there's a lot of history here, but really what you need to know is there was a tree. There it is. You know, that got taken down because it was growing into the old shed. And I'd also had multiple attempts to compost back here. Now, what had always happened is I got lazy, didn't water it, didn't turn it, got overgrown with weeds. More perennial kind of roots and vines would grow into it, and then I would just abandon it. So the soil back here actually has a lot of organic material. And it also has, unfortunately, a lot of trash, because I would be negligent. I would just throw buckets and, you know, stuff back here. So they would get weakened by the sun, break down, and turn into little plastic chips that I'm still sorting out through the soil, along with whatever the fuck my family's been doing for the past couple decades here. So, you know, this house survived a couple kids. So you can see here, still a lot of weeds, a lot of henbit, a lot of wild strawberries. I'm going to work these guys out, and I plan on doing pretty much like a Three Sisters here. So I'm going to have some corn, I'm going to have some sunflowers in the corner. Well, it'll be more than Three Sisters. You know, going to do some squash. I may or may not find some beans to pop in here. I mean, I guess why not, but... So this little corner right here is where I'm going to end the video, by the way. This little corner right here is where I'm going to put the sunflowers. I've kind of marked it off with this stick. And I've gone ahead and gotten some weeds out of here. The soil's not great, but I think the sunflowers will do okay. And I've gone ahead and transplanted more kale. Now, this guy, that guy, and that guy, they don't look so good. And that's actually a cabbage, I believe. And they don't look so good because these are my experiments a little over a month ago of me just sticking these guys outside in a cup and seeing how they do without any hardening off. Now, obviously, these guys are not in as good shape of the other ones that I have hardened off, but they're alive. Now, this place is pretty much partial shade. I mean, come summertime, it won't be. So the goal here, if they survive, is to have the sunflowers come up. They'll provide shade for the brassicas, and then you know, I'll just see if I can't even overwinter them, and maybe these will be my guys that I save seed from next year. So that's pretty much my day. I still got a little bit more I want to get done, but I figured I'd you know, churn out a video, and then we can see the progress in a couple weeks. So till next time, guys.